myself, and some big names that were actually triggering. What is Tyler's take on that?
That's go.
That's a go.
Yeah, look, Tech was the leader today. Semis were leading industry in there, and Texas was not overbought, right? Has gone nowhere for the last month. And
I love that triple top.
Yep. Looks great.
Okay, so today.
Hold on real quick here, guys. Because we were talking about semis earlier in the show, Gino. And we were talking about how they're setting up and they're running, and like let's take a look at just some of the major players out there to compare against. This is just a game I really like playing, just personally.
Yeah, there's some big market movers that are making the NASDAQ and technology sector stand out, and really that's the only sector standing out today.
Texas, so put TXN on the list. So TXN breaking out right now. I think you got to put Broadcom on the list.
Yep, and Intuit.
And AVGO, if you'll take a look at AVGO, it's setting up high base type breakout. You know, Texas front running it a little bit. AVGO has not broken out as of yet. What else are you looking at here in this space? You got Broadcom.
I've got Electronic Arts, Intuit, Skyworks.
And we took a look at Marvel yesterday. Marvel. It's I kind of like it on that support level.
Yeah.
Like the breakout of that 51, if it breaks that 20-day moving average, I like it breaking out of that trend. So you got a couple different patterns to kind of choose from here. A lot of the other ones are a little bit overextended coming into a potential breakout. I don't like it nearly as much as I like Maxim, Broadcom, and Texas Instruments. I think NVDA.
I was just going to bring up NVIDIA.
Like NVIDIA is front running into earnings, and we've seen that not play out. When is the market going to realize front running in earnings has not been a winning strategy this quarter? But it's front running based on the behavior of the market. But if you're looking at NVIDIA breaking out of a 3-month consolidation weekly chart that looks absolutely sexy, this space is starting to cook, guys. So you got that NVIDIA. I just don't think you can touch NVIDIA before the earnings like you can the other ones.
Yeah, another one that just triggered today, like recently, like the last half an hour, is MCHP, microchip. It's another one. So there's some good.
Did you say, which one did you say? Because take a look at SMTC.
So many things.
It's more of a retracement with a breakup above the 20-day moving average similar to Maxim.
I think for today, out of the whole space, I love Taiwan Semiconductor. It's on everybody's watch list to tackle trading, obviously.
It's not a better trigger than Texas, though.
No, I know it's not. I actually think for today,
it's the same trigger.
I like AVGO the best. I like AVGO. I like Broadcom.
The question is, will Intel follow? Because there's a lot of overhead resistance on Intel.
The next question is, does anybody care if Intel follows?
No, I don't.
Don't care about Intel?
Well, I don't personally. I mean,
it's Intel. I'm sorry. They chose to be IBM. They can own that.
They chose.
Do you think AMD will play catch up?
That's what I'm saying.
AMD can do whatever it wants to do whenever it chooses to do it.
See, that was Tyler's AMD bias coming out right there. He's like, you guys are talking about all these semiconductors. Where's my best friend? My best friend, come out and play. Okay. Come on.
Yeah, but that's not a bad thing, because AMD has treated Tyler very well, and it's treated a hell of a lot of investors extremely well over the years. So, yeah. We're loyal to AMD. It's not changing, but it's also not setting up nearly from a trading perspective as a Broadcom, Texas, Taiwan Semiconductor, a Maxim on the retracement as well. So I just think there's so many to pick in this space.
I know.
There's so many to pick in this space, and there's something happening, guys. And I've been talking about this all earnings season, but we've seen company after company in this space warn of headwinds on supply side, but not because supply side is so bad, but they simply cannot keep up with the demand side. And the demand side over the last year has been higher than at any point in our history, and it's probably going to be moving that way in the future as well. And so, man, if you don't have semis, you need semis over the next 10 years.
The problem is which one and how many, because there's so many good candidates out there. Like, look at Skyworks and Micron. They're posing to break out, but some of these are too late. I mean, they broke out too hard, you know.
Don't
like
we all have our favorites though that we go to in the semiconductor space?
Yeah,
like,
so
I do.
Like, do you buy an ETF or do you buy like 5 or 6 of these? Do you pick your favorite? Do you pick your favorite price?
Like I'm an Applied Materials, Taiwan, AMD, Marvel guy. I mean, that's me.
Killing it today.
Applied Materials is one of the best companies in the world, and people still don't know about it.
You know, I'll tell you, playing catch up, playing your favorite. Like, when is my guy going to catch up? My favorite. Your favorite's got to be which chart is setting up today or the days I want to trade. That's got to be your favorite. You can't have motion, because what I did is, back in the day, we had companies like Gateway Computer, of course, you know, Apple and Microsoft and all these back in 2000. And my favorite was Compaq. It was COMPAQ Computers. And I was waiting for that one to catch up, and it never did. And it filed bankruptcy or whatever. So, you know, I wanted it just because I had a Compaq computer at the time. And Seagate, remember those technologies? And what was the other one? That one had a store. They had stores and everything, and they just folded. But I should have stuck with the ones that were the leaders, the ones that were already breaking out. Look at KLAC. This was a triangle break today. This was impressive.
Wow.
So what is the fuel behind all these semiconductors?
Massive demand over stay-at-home and home-based businesses.
And this is interesting.
And
because,
everything in the world going smart technology.
And it's kind of
literally everything in the world going smart technology.
Yeah, because, you know, you're expecting a market pullback, but technology, especially semiconductors, said, I'm going to be the salmon swimming upstream in this market. You know, I'm going up. And it's a very impressive move in the sentiment of the market today.
Yeah, and I think detailing those semiconductor shortages like you have, Matt, that you've been seeing in the earnings report the last couple of weeks, it's obviously developing that theme. We're understanding it better, so when these signals happen, boom, we're going to be able to take those when they do. Everybody's got their favorites. I agree that you've got to take it with the chart. You can't let that bias always work your way in, but you're going to have your favorites around those watch lists waiting for those entry points. So semis, keep an eye on them. Scott Curate in the chat said, I think we might see 1 or 2 of these on the option report this weekend, and I think you might be right there, Scott.
Yeah, Scott, I would say you might see one or 2 on the stock report and 1 or 2 on the options report. But honestly, it's a Thursday, and like Broadcom today.
Yeah.
Broadcom would be a candidate. There's no doubt about that.
Hopefully
if Broadcom maintains this tomorrow, I guarantee you Broadcom's going to be on the list. And the reason is, when we're putting those reports together over the weekend, and why it's important to come every day to the halftime report, is we're analyzing those on a Friday, coming into what we think is going to be triggering on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday the following week. And so, like, you take a company like Applied Materials today, AMAT there, Tyler, and you're like, okay, yeah, it's a great trigger today. But are you really going to be re-triggering at 118 tomorrow above that and chasing that dragon of dreams? No, you missed the trigger. And so, yeah, there are going to be some semis on the reports tomorrow. Yeah. It's going to happen. But it's probably not going to be Applied Materials, given the fact that Applied Materials triggered on a Thursday, and that if you are going to make that Applied Materials trade, that trade's already being made. It's not a trade you're prepping for a Monday morning. That would be an AVGO, a Broadcom that has not yet broken out. So you're missing out a little bit on the Applied Materials and some of that space. But in the actual semis, because Applied Material isn't a semiconductor company the same way like a Taiwan Semiconductor is, or a Intel is, right? Mm-hmm. So you will see some semis on the reports tomorrow, but there are going to be some that just triggered late this week that just had ran too far.